Whether you're looking to buy a new set or whether you're asking that question, can you do that with this type of nunchaku? Today we're going to go over what matters versus what doesn't matter. So if you're asking me what the best set of nunchucks you can get right now is, well, if you're asking me, I'm going to tell you that it's the Dark Monk training nunchaku. To me, those are the overall hands down best. I would buy them right now, and I would also get them when I first started had they been available. But you will get a different answer from everyone you ask that to. So that is slightly biased. The overall answer is it doesn't matter. All right, so should we go chain or rope? The answer is it doesn't matter. Like I said, as far as the chain goes, get a quality chain and make sure they're connected to a quality set of swivels. If you're going rope, all right, so here we go with rope. Paracord is what I usually re-rope everything in because it's abundant. I always have paracord. I would suggest using 550. What I would avoid is like a nylon rope or something that's plasticky or it's going to cut your fingers. Dark Monk has dragon cord, I believe it's called, which is great. It's super soft. This is what the dragon cord is. So this can wrap around my finger so many times and I'm not going to start bleeding out. Whereas a nylon rope is going to cut through your fingers eventually. And even the paracord is going to start to wear down your skin on your fingers. So the good thing about rope is it's completely adjustable. Whereas you get a set with chain, you can't really play with that length too much, which leads us into our next point here. Chain versus rope length. What should you be looking for as far as that goes? Now these are a perfect 3-finger wrap. That's typically what I look for. Even 2 is good. If it just covers 2 fingers and you got a nice solid grip on it, that's fine. 1 finger, that's when you start looking at more speed in the rotation of the nunchaku, but you're gonna lose some ability to do certain things, certain tricks. And also vice versa. If your chain or rope wraps around all 4 fingers and you still have room, you might want to think about shortening that. Now play with them all because they all have their pros and cons, but if you want to get the most use for the size, I suggest wrapping 2 to 3 fingers. All right, so if you're looking for metal nunchaku, the cool thing about metal is obviously it looks really nice if you've got the right lighting coming in. So if you got a darker background, you got direct light coming at you, that light bounces off those metal nunchucks and it looks sweet. So I do like a metal nunchaku. However, they do come with their downfalls. If you're just learning to practice with nunchucks, I wouldn't suggest going for the metal because A, you're either going to get something that's heavy and it's really going to hurt when you hit yourself with these and it's going to make a lot of noise every time you hit the floor. The other option is these really lightweight, cheap metal nunchucks. These aren't bad, but they do lack the overall weight to them, but they're not bad. Just again, make sure you get the right weight distribution of the handle to the chain. Also make sure your welds are good on the chain. Make sure that the swivels don't have any cracks in them or anything like that. That's super important when it comes to chain. Somewhere I've got a set of actual steel handles that I made, like solid steel. The problem with that is that they're too heavy because here again, you had that weight ratio of the chain rope versus the handles. They're too heavy to work with. It's kind of pointless if you ask me. These Ignite nunchaku, these come from China. I'm not 100% if they're still shipping to the US or not, but I do highly recommend them. I think these ones were around 350, 400 grams, something like that. Very good quality. The problem with these is if you hit the floor, it's loud. You hit yourself, it's gonna hurt. You hit a window, you're done. Then you have this other option like these. Honestly, these may have come from Amazon, I'm not sure. These are much lighter, super lightweight. You can whip these things around. The problem with these, you're not gonna knock yourself out if you hit yourself. But this edge here, you catch that around your face or anything like that, you're gonna bleed. These things will cut you more so than they're gonna knock you out. I also found these. These I believe were from Combative with a K, I'm pretty sure. They came with a wire rope, which is horrible. I like these handles. They're pretty nice. They're a little short for me and they're a little thin, but again, it always is nice to have different options to play around with. Overall, these things are great, but the cable that it comes with as a chain is unbelievably horrible. I think I broke both sets of these within 5 minutes of having them. I mean, wire snaps, handle goes through the fucking... wire snaps, handle goes through the wall. So get rid of that immediately and do your own paracord, chain, whatever. But again, not a bad option. So there's foam nunchucks on Amazon that sell for $6 to $12, whatever. I would avoid those. All it is a plastic, cheap plastic tube that's got a foam sleeve around it. The foam sleeve will start to come off of them. The tube will crack, and typically the chain weighs more than the handles, which gives it a very awkward spin. So I would avoid those foam nunchaku. Now, JJ uses a different kind of foam nunchaku. I have no experience with those, so I'm not going to speak on those, but they do seem to be a much higher quality than anything you're going to get on Amazon. All right, so my number one pick overall is hands down Dark Monk Training Nunchaku. You cannot go wrong with these things. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, they are a phenomenal choice. As far as fire nunchaku go, again, I gotta give it to Dark Monk, but there's a lot of good options out there for fire nunchaku. Even Trick Concepts, I'm sure the Ninja Pirates are good. A lot of options out there with that. As far as metal nunchaku go, Ignite is the one that comes to mind as far as the overall best. They're high polished stainless steel. They look very nice. They feel nice. They are quality. But again, if you are a beginner, I would not recommend any sort of metal nunchaku. LEDs, hands down, got to give it to Float Toys. Price for quality, you can't beat it. They are hands down the best. And they've got different options for your pricing plan. All right, so as far as the diameter or thickness of the handles go, these are nice. They spin fast and everything like that, but they're good for close up. If I'm further back, it's a lot harder to see these compared to these. So I would go with a standard diameter on these. Length, 12 inches is usually the standard. These are 11, I believe, which is, like I said, just a tiny bit too small for me. These are 12s, and then even up to 14. 14 inch is usually like a contact trick type of size. Rope length. As far as rope length goes, like I said, 2 fingers to 3 fingers. I would try to stay in that range. 1 is going to be a lot faster, and 4 is going to be a lot bigger. So weight doesn't matter whatsoever. Just make sure the ratio is even throughout the entire nunchaku. Material doesn't matter if it's wood, metal. I say plastic, but when I say plastic, I mean Float Toys plastic. These things are completely indestructible. Cheap plastic, stay away from it. It's not even worth it. You might as well save up and get a decent set of nunchaku.